Saturday morning. My half-garage shop smelled of fresh sawdust and pine. The table saw humming as it cut through oak. I set down the $50 board I'd bought, ready to finally build a corner cabinet I'd been planning for weeks. But as I aligned the pieces, nothing fit. Tenons didn't match. Measurements were off. My excitement crumbled under the weight of wasted lumber. That's a frustration every woodworker knows. And it made me ask, what if the problem wasn't me at all? What if the real barrier was something no one tells you about, hidden in every plan we think we can trust? Most people in your position assume the problem is their skill. I'm not precise enough. I must be missing a step. But the truth is far more systemic. The villain isn't your hands or your tools. It's the plans themselves. Incomplete, misleading. Nearly every beginner-friendly plan looks polished, but collapses the moment you try to follow it. I've taught hands-on workshops for 25 years. I've seen it hundreds of times. Plans with missing measurements, skipped steps, and lumber lists for tools you don't own. I call it the assumption gap. That invisible gap between the instructions on paper and what actually happens on your workbench. And every frustrated woodworker falls into it, thinking it's them when it's really the plan. Pain scenario 1. You find a plan for a beautiful dining table. Photos look perfect. You buy the wood. Start cutting. Step 4 asks you to attach the apron, but there's no guidance on how to fit it precisely. You spend hours adjusting, sanding, and recutting. By Sunday evening, $75 of wood is ruined. You sit back thinking, I'm just not cut out for this. Pain scenario 2. You attempt a wall-mounted tool cabinet in your half-garage. The plan lists nominal lumber sizes, not the actual dimensions from the hardware store. Your shelves wobble. Screws don't align. You stare at the misaligned piece and feel time slipping away. Maybe woodworking isn't for small shops, you tell yourself. Pain scenario 3. You follow an outdoor bench plan you found online. Step 6 skips crucial joinery, and suddenly your project is 2 hours behind schedule. Lumber stacks in the corner, half cut. Your patience phrase. I must be doing something wrong. You mutter, imagining the weekend gone, the project abandoned. And here's what all 3 of these situations have in common. The steps, measurements, and sequences you relied on weren't tested. Not in a classroom. Not in a shop. Not by anyone who built the project from scratch. The villain isn't your skill or your space. It's incomplete, untested plans masquerading as professional instructions. And this is where most people make a mistake that costs them months. You assume the plan will guide you, but in reality, it's a gamble. What nobody tells you is that a single misalignment early on multiplies errors across the entire build. The part that surprised me most? Even experienced woodworkers fall victim to this trap. After enough failed builds, I started asking a different question. What if a plan were first built, tested, and perfected before it reached anyone else's hands? That realization changed everything. I requested a custom plan from a service that builds each plan in their workshop before sharing it with members. They drafted a corner cabinet tailored to my space, exact measurements, full material lists, and step-by-step instructions with detailed diagrams. I followed it. Every cut fit, every joint closed. Lumber was used efficiently. My frustration vanished. The system resolved each pain point from before. The dining table, cut lists matched precisely. The wall cabinet, measurement accounted for real-world lumber sizes. The bench, step-by-step joinery explained so clearly, I finished in half the time. And here's a concrete example. A custom corner cabinet for a 34-inch angle wall arrived in digital format. Every measurement verified. Every step built in a real workshop first. I finished it over a weekend. No recuts. No wasted wood. I realized then that the difference between failure and success isn't talent. It's a library of plans that works because they were tested first. You might think, I don't have enough tools. My garage is too small. But even in a half-garage setup with a folding workbench, these plans worked. They're designed for real-world constraints, using only basic tools. Consider Jessica Turner in Houston. She needed a corner cabinet for a 34-inch angled wall. The custom plan she requested fit perfectly. Or David Tomczak in Atlanta, whose shop is literally half a one-car garage. He built a wall-mounted tool cabinet and a step stool. Both fit, both functional, both within his space and budget. The principle is simple. Tested, detailed, step-by-step instructions eliminate assumptions. That is why it works. Every measurement accounted for, every joint explained, every step built and verified. There's no guessing, no improvisation required. Imagine the next 6 months. You pick up a plan off Pinterest. Step 4 doesn't make sense. Lumber sits, half cut. You're frustrated. Weekends slip by. You tell yourself, I'll try again next month. Now imagine taking one step, requesting a plan built and tested before it reaches your hands. Each project fits your space. Lumber is used efficiently. Time is respected. Progress is visible. Every weekend spent building, not fixing mistakes. You've already been doing the hard part. Planning, gathering wood, imagining the finished piece. The plans just haven't been keeping up with you. That's the quiet cost of inaction, and it's heavier than a single weekend of wasted lumber. Every misaligned joint, every wasted board isn't evidence of failure. It's proof you're trying, you're building, you're learning, you care. The next step is simple. One request for a plan that's already tested, already verified, and designed to fit your space, your tools, your weekend. If you want to see what I use for every build, I left a link in the description. And if this video helped you rethink your approach to woodworking, leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more hands-on insights.